Welcome back. Today's episode will be a short one. It's really me just expounding on the idea or my thoughts on weight loss as a goal. As you all probably know, I don't market or talk about weight loss as a goal because of how I feel about it. Now, I've obsessed over weight loss before in my past, and it always made me feel like shit. So right now, in the perimenopause space on the interwebs, there's so much marketing about weight loss. And gaining weight most definitely is one of the top 3 symptoms that women complain about and get upset about as they go through perimenopause and even postmenopause. So this episode is not going to be about the physiology of why we gain weight in midlife or specifically through perimenopause. There's a whole bunch of biological reasons and change of body composition. But what I want to talk about with you is how we feel about it and what we can do about our control over our activities and our own personal happiness. Throughout my 20s and 30s and even early 40s, I was on some kind of diet. And just so you know, when I was in my 20s, I was actually bulimic for 3 years. And it was a way of control. So thinking about weight loss or something, or even being bulimic or any of those eating disorders is about control. And I also look at it as a way of hating on my body to get skinny. And if you had seen photos of me in my 20s, 30s, and 40s, you would be like, I don't understand why she's obsessed with losing 5 pounds or losing 10 pounds because she's not even really overweight in the bigger scheme of things. And stuff like weight loss is never really about what it looks like on the outside. It's really about how we feel inside about ourselves. And these are the kind of thoughts that I would torture myself with during those times when my mental focus was on losing weight. How much do I weigh today? And then that, whatever that number was, would affect if I was happy or sad for at least a good portion of that day. Oh my God, I gained 2 pounds. Then of course, that's when I would feel like shit. Another thought, I hate my fat thighs. And I would stare at them in the mirror and be like squeezing them. God, I hate my body. I'll never lose the weight. Oh my God, I exceeded my FitnessPal calories. I'm so bad. I have no discipline. I just have no control. What's wrong with me? I'm so uncomfortable in this body. I wish my body looked like when I was 30. No, Tina, you can't eat cookies. You just have absolutely no control. And I was reminded of all these kind of feelings and thoughts about how weight loss goals really have this underlying sadness about it when I was listening to a recent podcast episode by the Movement Maestro. I think I can't remember the name of the podcast. I think it's called The Mafia, the Movement Mafia. Anyways, on Instagram, she's the Movement Maestro. And in it, she's talking about the proliferation of weight loss goals targeted at perimenopause women and how, because she, as a highly sensitive person, just gets this feeling of deep sadness whenever people talk about it or people focus on that. And I was thinking that it also, when I went through the focus of weight loss, it also did make me feel sad and hateful of myself. And the thing is, the transition is I don't really think about any of that right now because I gradually, again, nothing's an overnight flip of a switch. Over time, I turned my mind, my mental energy, and then my even physical focus to skill acquisition and accomplishments. In other words, changing where my mental focus was became turning towards positive self-building goals. And here are some examples of where my thoughts are now. Walk into a gym, heading to the barbell section of the gym where it's a bunch of guys. I feel like a badass queen. I'm like, yeah, look at me. Yeah, I'm one of the only women here. That's one thought that just makes me feel great. I just love taking up space in that guy part of the stereotypically guy part of the gym. Or let's say I'm doing a workout and I got pull-ups in it, and it's, a public gym, like, look at me show off my pull-ups. Or recently I just started jumping rope, and I know all of us have probably done it as a kid, but I've noticed I've gotten better, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I can jump rope. Or I think about how I haven't had time really to do boxing, and I had started it last year. Oh, I can't wait to have more time so I can go back to boxing. Or the time when I competed in a powerlifting meet, I was like, oh my God, I'm 52. That was when I was 52, and I just deadlifted 250 pounds. Or even in my 40s, taking my first kettlebell certification and passing it, because in order to pass it, I had to snatch. It's a type of movement with the kettlebell where you throw the kind of kettlebell overhead, 36 pounds. And I had trained for it for a long time. So I was really proud about that. That's actually one of the inspirations why I had formed Iron Strong Jewelry, because I was trying to create a piece of jewelry that would celebrate that. And I fully understand that weight gain is a legitimate perimenopausal midlife symptom, and it can become a mental occupation because it doesn't feel good to have this change that feels inexplicable or not what you're used to in midlife. And especially because in perimenopause, it could feel like it just came out of nowhere. And I'm not suggesting that you say, fuck it, and I'm just going to eat what I want to be healthy, because that's not what it is. I'm not saying toss out health and weight tracking out the window. I just know for myself, when I use a scale, it just makes me feel worse. And instead, what I focus on is I am, try to get my daily steps in. I don't try, like, it is a conscious part of my day. Like, oh, did I walk enough today? Did I get to the gym to lift? Or I recently have been trying to incorporate yoga twice a week, not for weight loss or any goal, but just so I can feel more limber in my body. And I wanted to share that changing my focus from always looking at weight and weight loss has brought me a lot more joy in my daily life, and also freed up some of this mental energy. If you're focusing so much on the calories, the macros, how much you're eating, how much you're measuring, there's only so much mental space or mental energy and thought time you have in a day. Wouldn't you rather turn it towards something that is positive in your life, making you feel good about yourself? In terms of a skill is something you'll have for the rest of your life. Our weight is never the same every single day. And what does the weight do? And I think about even the times when I had lost a lot of weight, which is when I was getting a divorce, because I was trying to move out of my apartment, at least find my own apartment, move out of the home that I was when I was married. I was kind of doing a career shift at that time. I lost, I think, like 10 pounds, not on purpose. It was just from stress, depression, and I don't even think I was eating less, but that's what happens when all of your mental energies and stress is expended on other things, such as thinking about what you're going to do in your life. So I lost 10 pounds. Which I was probably bone skinny. I remember some people were like, what happened? You lost so much weight. So I lost all that weight. I wasn't happy. Or even when the times when I think about the focus of calorie restriction and you lose a couple pounds, maybe even you lose 5. I mean, let's be honest and think about it. Are we really all of a sudden mentally happier? It doesn't really change anything. So if we can change the focus of our time and energy towards celebrating our skills, skill acquisition, I call it, but getting really good at something that you can just notice the difference. Like, I sucked at jump rope. I'm not a boxer level jump roper, but I'm better than before, and I can notice it. Or even the idea of, I've been doing agility and jump training for the past year, I really did suck when I first started. I was like all left feet. And I'm not no one to be like, oh, she's a pro athlete. But I can notice that I feel more comfortable doing it and I'm better than I was before. And that really feels good. So celebrating skill acquisition like that, or even activities that support and fortify our lifelong health, getting into the habit of taking steps all the time, getting into feeling good, like, you know what, I feel stale when I'm not moving my body every day. Those are great habits to embrace. So I want to end this shorty episode asking you, will you join me in focusing on the good things that you're able to do for yourself rather than focusing on what's on the scale? And I'll talk to you next week.
I'm Coach Tina. For more information about how to work with me, head to ironstrongfitness.com and send me a message. I'll see you next time.